Think about your greatest successes disappearing in a moment. What would you do next? Discover today how one man turned his greatest setback into a source of timeless strength. Imagine this. You're a successful trader enjoying a life of wealth and achievement. But suddenly, disaster strikes. Your ship, along with all its valuable cargo, sinks. Everything you've worked for vanishes before your eyes. This isn't just fiction. It's a reality faced by Zeno over 2,000 years ago in ancient Cyprus. You might ask, what does this have to do with Stoicism? In a word, everything. This disaster led Zeno to create Stoicism. Today we explore how his response to catastrophe can transform your own challenges into triumphs. Stoicism isn't about enduring pain in silence. It's about transforming pain into power. In this video, we're diving deep into the true essence of Stoicism and showing you how it can transform your life, making it more balanced and fulfilling. We will debunk the misconceptions about Stoicism that others try to sell you on social media and podcasts. You'll learn how Stoicism is often misused in modern contexts, what it truly means to live stoically, and get practical insights on applying Stoic principles to your daily challenges. So, hang on. Whether you're dealing with a lack of purpose and motivation, anxiety, facing challenges at work, struggling with relationships, or whatever else you're struggling with, this video will help you understand how to apply Stoic wisdom to reshape your reality and unlock your potential like no one else does. Stay tuned. What you're about to learn could make a big difference in how you handle life's ups and downs. What if I told you that everything you've heard about Stoicism is wrong? Let's set the record straight. We start by clarifying what Stoicism is not. There are many misconceptions floating around, particularly in some modern alpha male circles. Seneca and Marcus Aurelius would be sickened by the bastardization and gross misinterpretations of their teachings. One common misconception is that Stoicism is about feeling nothing or being emotionless. Genuine Stoicism is not about feeling nothing. It's about feeling everything and thinking nothing of it. A lot of people put on an act of Stoicism by saying, "I'm not upset, I do not care, I'm not bothered, I'm not emotional." But the philosophy is not about pretending not to care. It's about accepting that as humans we will care about certain things, but we shouldn't care about the fact that we do care. This resonates with Epictetus's teaching. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Ever heard of eudaimonia? It's the secret to true happiness according to Stoics. Eudaimonia is central to Stoic philosophy and represents the highest human good, a life of flourishing and fulfillment. It's about living in accordance with virtue. At the heart of achieving eudaimonia is the Stoic happiness triangle. This triangle consists of three essential principles: taking responsibility, living with arete, and focusing on what you can control. Taking responsibility. This means accepting responsibility for your own actions and reactions. It involves recognizing that your well-being is not dictated by external circumstances, but by how you choose to respond to them. You have the ability to choose your response to any situation, which is within your control. Living with arete. Arete means living each day, each moment to the fullest, embodying virtues such as courage, temperance, justice, and wisdom. It's about striving to be the best version of yourself in every aspect of life, acting in accordance with your innermost values and truth, focusing on what you can control. This principle emphasizes the importance of directing your energy towards things you can influence, your thoughts, actions, and attitudes, while accepting the rest as it happens. For the Stoics, everything beyond your control is ultimately indifferent. Only your response to these events matters. Together, these principles form the Stoic happiness triangle, guiding you toward eudaimonia. Understanding and applying these principles set the stage for delving into the core virtues that Stoicism upholds. To fully embrace Stoicism, it's crucial to understand its core virtues. These virtues provide a framework for living a life in harmony with nature and reason. Wisdom, as Viktor Frankl said, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. Wisdom in Stoicism involves discernment and the ability to distinguish between what is within our control and what is not. Courage. Courage can be summed up in two words: persist and resist. It's the strength to face our fears and the endurance to stand firm in our principles despite challenges. Temperance. While figures like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk are often at the top of Forbes' list, Stoics believe that the limit of wealth should simply be having what is essential and then having what is enough. Temperance is about self-control and moderation in all aspects of life. Justice. Justice is the most important of all the virtues. It instructs that no one should do harm to another because we were all born for each other, to do good to one another, and not just for ourselves. Justice in Stoicism means living in a way that respects the rights and dignity of all people. With these virtues as our guide, we can navigate life's challenges more effectively and cultivate a resilient and fulfilling existence. Understanding the Stoic virtues helps us lay a solid foundation for living a balanced life. But how do these virtues translate into our daily experiences and perceptions? Let's explore how Stoic philosophy shapes our perspective, particularly in processing negative emotions and emphasizing practice over theory. Stoicism allows us to process negative emotions from negative experiences and turn them into thoughts that give us a unique perspective of the world. Perspective is everything, and everyone in the world has different experiences and thus different perspectives on things. There is a lot of writing by the Stoics. They wrote many brilliant books. But Stoicism wasn't about what they wrote or said. It was about what one does. As Marcus Aurelius said, waste no more time talking about what a good man is like. Be one. This emphasis on action over words is a crucial aspect of Stoic philosophy. One of the Stoic exercises is known as voluntary discomfort, an exercise aimed at increasing feelings of gratitude. Imagine waking up in the morning and taking a cold shower instead of your usual hot one. The shock of the cold water builds resilience and mental toughness, preparing you for the unexpected challenges of the day. Now, picture yourself skipping a meal occasionally. This practice of fasting helps you to appreciate the abundance of food you usually have and to understand the reality of hunger. It's a powerful way to cultivate gratitude for the everyday comforts we often take for granted. And consider this: turn off your phone for an entire day or at least for a few hours. In our hyper-connected world, this can feel incredibly uncomfortable. But by disconnecting from technology, you learn to appreciate the constant connectivity and information at your fingertips. It also gives you the space to engage more deeply with the world around you and to reconnect with your thoughts. These exercises in voluntary discomfort help you understand that no matter how hard it gets, you'll still survive and potentially thrive if your mindset is right. By being able to withstand these uncomfortable situations, we indirectly prepare our minds for future misfortunes, and they also help us to focus ourselves on our goals. But how can we apply this mindset to our everyday lives? The answer lies in expecting and accepting the worst-case scenarios. Imagine being caught in the rain without an umbrella. It's unpleasant, right? Now, imagine facing life's storms with the same resilience. So why do so many people adopt Stoicism as a way of life? In a world full of unexpected turns of events, our emotions can tend to get in the way of things. In reality, we don't really get sad because bad things happen to us. We get sad because unexpected bad things happen to us. Rain is a good thing. It helps to water our plants, provides water for livestock, and keeps the temperature cool and humid. But the truth is, when that dark cloud catches you outside without an umbrella, it's never a good experience. So why don't we start crying once it starts to rain? It's because although the situation is bad, we've learned to expect rain. It's something that is unavoidable. We can't control the weather. Although it sucks, the rain passes and the light returns. Expect the worst, and you'll never be caught off guard. With these principles in mind, let's delve into one of the core concepts of Stoicism: understanding what we can and cannot control. As Epictetus said, the chief task in life is simply this: to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals not under my control and which have to do with the choices I actually control. Stoics teach that we must learn to separate what we can control from what we cannot control. We need to determine our value not from things we can't control, but from the things we can. Striving towards goals is a good trait, but breaking down when those things don't go your way is, in a Stoic's point of view, useless. Starting a business is a perfect example of how Stoic principles can be applied in daily life. The journey of entrepreneurship is filled with uncertainty and challenges. You start with an idea, then you must create a business plan, secure funding, build a team, and launch your product or service. Every step up to the launch is within your control. You can research the market, plan your strategy, and execute your tasks diligently. However, once your business is launched, many factors are beyond your control: market conditions, customer reactions, competition, and even economic shifts. These external factors can greatly influence the success of your business. Stoicism teaches that instead of judging the success of your business solely on external outcomes, you should focus on the effort and dedication you put into the process. Did you do your best in planning and execution? Did you adapt and learn from feedback? A true Stoic does not view their successes based on the financial gain of their ventures, but is comforted by the fact that they can live a comfortable life without all the things money can buy. Just as in business, where external factors are beyond our control, history provides powerful examples of individuals who embodied Stoic principles amidst great difficulty. A great example of Stoicism is Nelson Mandela. He was one of the most famous African leaders in the world. Throughout his time in prison, Mandela read the works of Marcus Aurelius and learned many of the core values of Stoicism, all of which he practiced throughout his life. Instead of calling for the heads of the wrongdoers, Nelson Mandela urged his people to instead seek the opposite: to relax and rebuild. He stressed that the past was now beyond their control, and that the only thing they could do was to find a way to move forward and build a better nation. This is the way of the Stoic. Mandela's story teaches us a profound lesson about the power of our mindset and the importance of focusing on what we can control. To truly overcome adversity and find happiness, we need to rewire our thoughts. By shifting our focus from external events to our internal responses, we can cultivate a deeper sense of peace and resilience. It's a process, much like everything else. We have to rewire the way we think. Out with the old, in with the new. To fix our problems with happiness, we must practice self-worth. By redirecting our definition of value to the things that we can control, we can stop getting fixated on the things that we cannot control, and overall, we can lead a much happier and more fulfilling life. Before we jump into the conclusion, let's get the conversation started. Leave a comment sharing how Stoicism has helped you in your life or why you're interested in learning more about it. If you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover next, we'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay up to date with our latest content. Your journey towards a better life with the help of Stoic philosophy is just beginning, and we're here to guide you every step of the way. Now, let's reflect on how Stoicism can guide us through life's storms and provide a steady compass in turbulent times. Stoicism helps us steer through past and present storms into calmer and more peaceful waters. Whether facing daily challenges or life-altering events, Stoic principles provide a steady compass. Imagine navigating through life's turbulent seas with a mindset anchored in resilience and wisdom. That's the power of Stoicism. It teaches us to embrace challenges and view obstacles as opportunities for growth. Even if our metaphorical ship sinks, leaving us to confront profound loss, Stoicism offers peace in knowing that we lived a life of purpose and virtue, regardless of its length. Because remember, everything has an end. Stoicism teaches us to embrace the fact that life is always changing. By accepting this fundamental truth, we can live more fully and fearlessly. Life is short, and understanding this helps us cherish each moment and not hold on to the past or worry about the future. By integrating Stoic wisdom into our daily lives, we become better equipped to handle whatever comes our way. We learn to distinguish between what we can control and what we cannot, allowing us to respond to life's challenges with grace and composure. Reflect on how you can use Stoicism in your own life. Think about the areas where you face challenges and how Stoic principles can help you build resilience and find peace. Your journey towards a more balanced and fulfilling life is just beginning with joining the Stoics' resilience. Embrace it with courage, wisdom, temperance, and justice. Living with the awareness that everything has an end allows us to focus on what truly matters. It liberates us from the fear of loss and the anxiety of the unknown. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think."